He's a once renowned cancer physician who some patients credit with saving their lives. But there's another side to this doctor, and the 7 investigators were the first to reveal it. He's recently been accused of causing harm to some of his patients, and just this year agreed to pay nearly $800,000 to resolve allegations that he performed unnecessary radical hysterectomies. Tonight, more of the doctor's patients are coming forward, asking why his own hospital kept vital warning signs hidden from them. Here's 7 investigator Ross Jones.
When someone says cancer,
you heard cancer and you would have done anything he asked.
I would have done anything. I would have done anything.
Tracy Wolf was a patient of Dr. Vinay Malviya back in 2018. She didn't know it at the time, but in the 2 years before she went under the knife, 3 different experts, including one hired by Malviya's own hospital, concluded the doctor was performing unnecessary surgeries that put patients at risk.
Like many women, Tracy had been referred to Dr. Malviya by her physician. She'd been experiencing bleeding, and after an exam learned that she had a large cyst on one of her ovaries.
He told me that there was a possibility it could be cancerous. I was terrified, and I just wanted to go ahead and have the procedure and just get it over with.
But instead of removing and testing the cyst, Tracy says Malviya wanted to do a total hysterectomy, making a large incision in her abdomen and removing her uterus, cervix, and ovaries.
The pain was the worst pain I ever experienced in my life.
The recovery, she says, was grueling. And 4 years after the surgery, Tracy now suffers from sharp abdominal pain.
Was it cancer?
It was not cancer. He was too aggressive. And I can't imagine what could have happened to some of his other patients.
Patients like Donna Kane, who saw Malviya in 2018 after experiencing pain in her uterus. She said her primary care doctor had already diagnosed her with fibroids, not cancer, but that Malviya said she needed a total hysterectomy.
I went back to my gynecologist. She did an exam. She said, no, you don't. I went to my primary care. She did an exam. No, you don't. What is he talking about?
But Donna admits she was scared. She previously had breast cancer and didn't want to take a chance, so she went ahead with a total hysterectomy.
When I went home, I was thinking, okay, I've gotten this over with. Here comes the healing. There wasn't healing. To this day, there's still pain.
Pain and serious complications that sent her to the emergency room.
They said, we're admitting you. I said, why? What's going on? You have a PE. That's a blood clot on your lungs, and it was developed through your surgery.
4 years later, Donna says the surgery that was supposed to fix her pain somehow made it worse, while causing new problems.
We haven't been intimate since 2018. Too painful.
As far back as 2016, Ascension Hospital, where Malviya worked, had been warned repeatedly that the doctor was performing radical hysterectomies when only simple hysterectomies were warranted. 2 more expert reviews concluded that Malviya was putting patients at risk with overly aggressive procedures. One physician said Malviya's substandard surgical treatment may be about lack of knowledge as well as about financial gain. The hospital never shared any of that with patients like Donna and Tracy.
If they took away Malviya's privileges or credentials or whatever it may be, they would be, cutting off that hand that was feeding them.
Donna McKenzie is a medical malpractice attorney who represents Tracy Wolf and Donna Kane and is preparing to sue Dr. Malviya today. Since her initial story, McKenzie says she's been contacted by nearly 150 of the doctor's former patients, many who saw him through Ascension Hospital.
Despite the hospital's own review, despite the federal investigation, despite the state investigation, Malviya was allowed to continue to practice.
Ascension ultimately ended its contract with Dr. Malviya, but not until years after they were first warned. The hospital agreed to pay $2.8 million to settle claims it billed for unnecessary procedures. Malviya says he has since retired. His license to practice medicine still intact today.
It's like, I don't know, he messed me up. I feel like I'm really messed up. Really messed up.
Ascension Hospital did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Both Dr. Malvia and his lawyer declined our request for an interview, but through a spokesman, Malvia denied all of the allegations made against him and said in part, after a nearly 4-decade career of providing highly specialized, dedicated, and loving care of thousands of patients, most referred after treatment from other respected medical professionals in cancer and gynecology care, Dr. Malvia is deeply saddened that his reputation has come under question. He takes great satisfaction in knowing so many of his former patients attribute their longevity and well-being to his dedicated care. But some former patients or their loved ones say Malvia is to blame for their suffering, or worse.
They told me she had 2 massive heart attacks. They had to split her chest open to massage her heart. They said they couldn't stop the bleeding.
Our investigation continues tonight on 7 Action News at 11.
And Ross, we'll see you back here then. Thank you for that.